Welcome to McAussie.tv here on a Saturday morning before the NFL Championship games. I hope you enjoyed my segment yesterday on Game Time Decisions in-game live on SportsGrid Network out of New York. Also now on Sirius XM Channel 204 on YouTube and everywhere. SportsGrid, they're really doing well, expanding. Well, yesterday at the start of the show, Gabe and Cam asked me about peanut butter, so we talked about Vegemite. Well, no Vegemite in the house at the moment. I'm going to buy some more though. I'm going to buy some Vegemite for sure, or as they say in Canada, for sure, for sure. Well, here is one of my favourite breakfasts to start the day. Let's go with toast and cheese and tomato. Love it. Fantastic. And also some toast with jam. Blackberry raspberry jam. Beautiful. And then, of course, tea, mate. Tea. Red rose, soy milk. Milk gives me bad stomach. Soy milk and honey. Love it. So there we go. That's my breakfast to start this day. So let's first of all talk about the first game on Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Green Bay Packers. It should be an absolute beauty. Packers started off at 4-point favourite. That's +4 on the spread splash plus minus for you betting people. Well, Sunday night, Part A of my equation is gut feel / my NFL knowledge. I put some money on the Bucks at +4. I really did. I think they're a big chance. Packers might still win just, but that's my best bet of the week. It's down to 3 now. So I put it at +4 for the Bucks. So let's now go through my equation that I talked about last night on Game Time Decisions. Let's go. Gut feel. Yes, I put 1 point on the Bucks. Recent record, well, that's not relevant right now. It was in the first week of the playoffs in the wildcard weekend. Home field advantage. Yes, I gave 1 point to the Green Bay Packers. Better quarterback. 1 point to the legend, Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady still playing very well at 43 years old. Rodgers is 37, I believe. He is a star. He should be the MVP, just over Patrick Mahomes and maybe Josh Allen. Aaron Rodgers, MVP this year, I firmly believe. If I had a vote, that's who would be getting it. And again, I'm going to say it again. What a ridiculous, stupid decision by the Packers GM, Brian Gutekunst. Brian Gutekunst, as I said last week. He picked Jordan Love, moved up to the first round, moved places and picked Jordan Love at quarterback. He's now third string. What a disgrace. Packers should have an extra great wide receiver, a first-year very good receiver to accommodate Adams. Again, I feel sorry for Aaron Rodgers. They haven't looked after him very well over the years, the Packers. They have only given him one decent, maybe a second okay wide receiver for most of his career. Donald Driver was great. Adams is great now. So there you go. Disgraceful by Brian Gutekunst. Good, that's it. Gutekunst. Gutekunst. I don't know if that's correct. Anyway, you're an idiot, and I'm calling you an idiot. Alright, now I've got that out of the way. So now I've got Packers by 2. Injuries, COVID outs. Well, we've got to wait till Sunday morning for that, don't we? So currently, not sure on that. AB, Antonio Brown, Mr. Facebook Live, the clown. He might be out for the Bucks. Disappointing there. Coaching advantage. I'm going to give it to Tampa Bay. Arians and Byron Leftwich. See, they've even got a witch. So Byron Leftwich, he might come out with some tricks, spiritual witch tricks. So I'll give the coaching advantage to the Bucks by 1. You know, this is funny. 10 years before I was born, if you were left-handed, they thought you were a witch. Serious. My girlfriend was telling me that about her sister. She was born left-handed and then made to use her right hand. Well, I'm a lefty. They never changed it when I was born, luckily. So there we go. Byron the Leftwich, he might have some tricks up his sleeve. Coaching advantage 1 to the Bucks. Oh, record versus Bucks. Well, there we go. We've got to give 1 point to the Bucks because earlier in the year they smashed the Packers 38-10 on October 18th. Who my favourite NFLers pick? Here we go. Item I. Well, this is interesting. James, my racing truck buddy who I respect a lot, he went Packers. Gabe went Packers. Gabe Morency went Packers just because he doesn't want to face Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, as I said last night, if the Bills get through, because he's a Bill fan. Brady tormented Gabe for years. Mike the Can Man, my legend mate in Boston. Celebrity, very, very knowledgeable. Well, he went Bucks. Yeah, but of course he went Bucks because he's a Patriots fan. Same with my buddy, my other racing truck buddy, Henry. He's a Patriots fan, so he went Bucks as well. But get this. Oh, Cousin Sal, who was on the show earlier from Jimmy Kimmel. I was backstage at Jimmy Kimmel. I'll tell that story in a minute. He went Packers 31-21. The guy on NFL, Rosenthal, he went Bucks. But this is the key, boys. 2 of the greatest NFL media guys who I listen every Friday on podcasts. PFT Live, PM, they do all the picks. Mike Florio and Chris Sims both went Bucks. There we go. So that's pretty even. Let's give 1 point to the Bucks on who my NFL favourite people went. Mainly because of Sims and Florio. Weather advantage. Now this is key. We talk too much about weather. I know we do, but seriously, if it snows heavy in Green Bay, you got to give 2 to 3 points advantage to the Packers. I mean, look what the Titans did up there a few weeks ago. I picked the Titans to beat the Packers. It snowed a shitload and the Titans were terrible. The Packers smashed them. So more so the advantage of the players used to keeping their feet, having the right footwear on, the right sprigs, the right spikes in their running shoes / now proper cleats, proper football boots we call them in Aussie football. Football boots we call them, yes. Advantage Packers, especially if it snows a lot. And honestly, if it does snow a lot, I think the Packers will win. So let's assume it only snows a little bit. Still an advantage to the Packers. Turnovers in the season / recent, very even. 8 to the Packers and 8 to the Bucks, 7 to the Packers. So no real advantage there. Item I. Item L. Chance of a mental letdown / playoff experience. Well, there we go. I've got to give 1 point to the Packers. They went to the championship game last year and then got smashed by the 49ers. So 1 point to the Packers. So overall, and with gut feel / my NFL knowledge, I'm picking the Bucks to win by 1 point, 1 to 3. So put the Bucks at +3 or 4 as the best bet of the week. And wouldn't it be fantastic if Tom Brady gets back to another Super Bowl? That would be insane. So let's talk a little bit about a story, first of all, for the Bucks. Well, I was at Super Bowl 37 in San Diego, had media passes there, and it was the Bucks versus the Raiders. Barrett Robbins went AWOL. He went into Tijuana and missed the game for the Raiders. Oh, they were favourites to win. Well, the Bucks got up and beat the Raiders. They had amazing defense, so that was a fun week at Super Bowl in San Diego. Then I went 2 days after that to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii, so that was fantastic. The third Pro Bowl that I went to with NFL media. And here's another Buck story. I just talked about Cousin Sal, who was on the show last night just before I was. Well, after the Super Bowl in Houston, the year after, I drove to LA because John Carlin, one of the booking agents for Jimmy Kimmel Live show, I sent him my Pro Bowl videos with all the cheerleaders and the funny stuff. He loved it. So he said, I'll try and get you on. I'll get you on the Jimmy Kimmel show. So anyway, he took me for lunch. Britney Spears was close by that day. And I was VIP backstage at the Jimmy Kimmel show. And get this, Warren Sapp was a guest that night. So there's a bit of a buck story. Warren Sapp was guest after the show. I chatted to him in the VIP area. I said, mate, you remember me? You remember me from Pro Bowl? Because seriously, a year or two before that, Warren Sapp grabbed the ABC camera and he's making out to be a cameraman during the last quarter of the Pro Bowl, because then the players don't really give a stuff about it. Well, he's making out to be a cameraman. And I said, hey, Warren, how you going? And so he was filming me and I was filming him. I said, Warren, do you remember that? He goes, oh, how you going, man? Hell, he's a big fella, eh? He's been in a bit of trouble lately, but I like Warren Sapp, fantastic player, and he's famous for getting after Brett Favre, the quarterback, legend quarterback of the Packers. So this is why I'm wearing my Woodville Warriors green and gold jacket tonight, my Guernsey, because when I had media way back in 1999 at the Packers versus the Vikings game in Minnesota, it was fantastic. The day before, I'm at the Broncos versus Seahawks game, flew to Minneapolis, had media, I was on the sidelines, and whoever won that game went to the playoffs. Well, the Vikings, they upset the Packers. Jeff George was quarterback for the Vikings. Probably one of the few games he played any good. He was in quarterback instead of Randall Cunningham. I was on the sidelines, on the field, interviewed Leslie Visser, got in the Green Bay Packers room, but some cop chick thought I was mucking around and I got kicked out of the Packers room for no reason at all. So check that out in my movie. It is funny. It is crazy. The cop chick, she grabs me on the arm and says, if you don't behave yourself, you'll be on the first boat back to Australia. But I didn't do anything wrong, because what happened, my media pass had Mick Harrison, and my proper driver's license had Kim Andrew Harrison, so she thought I was mucking around. It's just the fact that I was stupid. I went into the losers' change rooms, locker rooms, because I wanted to interview Brett Favre, because my mates in Vancouver love Brett Favre, and I liked him too. So big mistake. Never, ever go into a loser's locker rooms, especially when you're dressed like this. I had the hat on, had this Woodville Warriors jersey on. There we go. Here we go, back there. There you are. Team, Woodville Warriors. My team there. There we go, back here, eh? See him back there? And I was dressed like a Packers fan. It was fantastic. But you know what? I also became a Vikings fan after that night. Partied till all hours, got on a plane, then back to Vancouver. So I really hope you can watch my movie. Check it out. It's free. It's via password because it's not legal. That's why I can't let anyone just watch it, because it's not legal. Check it out. The Minnesota Packers segment is nuts. Craziness. Got kicked out of the Packers room for no friggin' reason at all. And I'll stick by that. I did nothing wrong other than some idiot, some ball steward guy didn't like my hat and my jersey, jumper, Guernsey. This one here. Terrible. Disgraceful. So let's hope it's a great game tomorrow. It really could go either way. Looking forward to it. 1 p.m. Sunday Mountain Time here in Edmonton. Now, one thing, we'll go to a little commercial break now. All right, commercial break. MickAussie.tv, TotalCFL.com, MickAussie.com. Now, I want to promote my podcast, or as Americans say, podcast. Podcast. It's podcast or poddies. There we go. There's a good name. Poddies. So I want to promote my podcast. So what I do, I put this show and also the show from yesterday, Game Time Decisions. I start with that. So you'll have about a 45-minute poddy. There's one from last week. There's quite a few up there where I tell all sorts of NFL stories like I just did then. So hope you enjoy knowledge, NFL, comedy, and a couple of shout-outs to my 49ers racing truck driver mate, Marcus My 49ers racing truck driver Marcus, he loves it. See, he's American, but now Canadian. So I said, mate, what do you want me to do? He says, Mick, just tell your NFL, love it. So there we go. Shout out to Marcus. Also, shout out to John Buckeye in Calgary, a racing truck driver. He loves my podcast as well. And another shout out to Ty Rich in Vernon, BC. Talking to him last night, he says, Mick, I listen to your podcast. Keep putting them up and I'll listen. So there you go, Vernon, BC, Canada, one of the greatest places in the world to live. So good on you, Ty Rich out there in Vernon. I think he works construction or builds houses or something, so he listens to Poddies all day. Poddies, audio podcasts. You can get mine, just type in Mick Aussie, MYK space Aussie on Spotify, Castbox FM, Stitcher, or the Google one as well. So there we go, little talk about my poddies, my podcast. Oh, that was a fantastic breakfast. And the tea, love the tea here in the Broncos mug. Honey is the key in tea, love it. Anyway, now part two, the second game on Sunday is the AFC Championship game, and the Buffalo Bills travel to Kansas City Chiefs, where the Chiefs are 3-point favourite, -3. That's 3 points to you betting people. Oh, gut feel, Sunday night, I said, Bills can do this. They really can. But there's the key. Patrick Mahomes is the key. He was knocked out of the game last Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. Shit on my pants. They got him in the head a little bit, not dirty. He hit his head on the ground. He was wobbly in the concussion protocol. So yes, he did not return to the game. He's a legend. He's the reigning MVP. Maybe the most exciting player to come along that I've seen since Michael Vick, the dog killer. Oh, shouldn't say that, but yes, he was guilty of that. Bit harshly done by. He did the wrong thing. Yes, he did, Michael Vick. He definitely did the wrong thing. But yeah, I think his sentence was a bit harsh. Anyway, Patrick Mahomes, legend quarterback. He's the key to the game. About Wednesday, he was cleared from the so-called NFL concussion protocol, which I 90% believe they're doing the right thing. But let's be honest, the NFL definitely want Patrick Mahomes playing. I got to trust him at this stage. So he's had limited practice this week. He's got a bung toe, turf toe, or he was struggling to move well. Last game, before he was knocked out, that is the key. If the Bills can get to Patrick Mahomes early, hurt him fairly within the rules. I don't want to see no helmet to helmet, but try and get him out of the game, and the Bills can definitely win. Let's now go through my equation for the game. Very, very close. I've done this like 4 times for this game. Let's start it here. Gut feel / my NFL knowledge, I went 1 point for the Bills. Recent record, not relevant this week. Home field advantage, I will give 2 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. Better quarterback. Well, normally I would give Patrick Mahomes maybe 7 points here, even though Josh Allen is very good. Mahomes, he could just turn it on and score 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. Well, maybe 10 minutes. So because of Mahomes' injuries and lack of preparation this week, I'm going to give 2 points advantage to Josh Allen. He's had an excellent year. He's a great running quarterback as well. He can throw the long bomb. He's got Stephon Diggs. He's got weapons all over the place. I'm going to give 2 points to Josh Allen because of Mahomes' injuries / lack of preparation this week. Hey, that could totally come back and bite me in the ass, that one. Injuries, COVID. Well, Chiefs have got some suspect players, including Patrick Mahomes, so I will give 1 point to the Bills there. Current record, that's not relevant this week of the playoffs. Coaching advantage, well, I'm going to give 1 point to the Chiefs here. Big Red, Andy Reid, will he be taking all these coaches to the restaurant after the game and racking up a huge bill as he's known to do, and then he takes his cakes and puts them in his office fridge. Big Red Andy Reid, he's a legend. And Eric the Enemy, as I said on Game Time Decisions, Eric the Enemy, that's why he hasn't got a head coaching job. Bad marketing. Oh, the new coach of the Houston Texans is Eric the Enemy. So young kids are going to go, what? I can't barrack for them. They got the enemy coaching them. No, it's Eric B. Enemy, but it sounds like the enemy. So Eric the Enemy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, is very good, touted to be getting a head coaching job soon. Record versus Bills. Well, we got to go 1 point to the Chiefs there. They beat the Bills on October the 19th, 26-17. Who my favourite NFLers pick, eh? Very interesting. Well, James went the Bills. Gabe went the Bills, of course. Gabe Morency, because he's a mad Bills fan. Mike the Cam Man, my Boston mate, went the Chiefs. Henry from the Racing Truck Driver, he went the Bills. But this is key. The Legends, one of the best podcasts of the week that I listened to, Chris Sims and Mike Florio, they both went Chiefs. So for that reason, I have to give 1 point to the Chiefs. Weather advantage? Nah, no advantage there. Bills are used to playing in the cold. Turnovers this season, very close. Bills +4, Chiefs +6, no points there. Chance of a mental letdown / playoff experience. Well, I've got to give 1 point to the Chiefs there. They won the Super Bowl last year, as we know. And the Bills, well, let's hope the occasion won't be too much for them, but it might be. 1 point to the Chiefs. So with all this worked out, giving 1 point to my gut feel for the Bills, I have it at the Chiefs favoured by 1. Well, I'm allowed up to 3 points for gut feel. So because of that, I'm picking the Bills by 1 point. I hope they win. They could. Could be very close. Be careful betting. Well, NFL stories on the Bills, I don't have many other than watching them in Australia when I was a kid. Watching them lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. That wasn't good. And then when I had to get landed status in Australia, the friggin' government sent my immigration papers to Vancouver in regular post. It got lost, so then I had to drive back from Calgary to Vancouver and get police records and all this sort of stuff. And then I flew to Toronto with work, and then I had to drive to Buffalo to the Canadian Embassy. You had to go out of the country some reason to get your landed status, so I went to Buffalo to the Canadian Embassy there, got my landed status and became permanent resident. I drove around Buffalo, went downtown, had a look. Niagara Falls is fantastic. That's a damn good looking place. There's so much water rushes over the Niagara Falls. That's right near Buffalo. So not too many stories from Buffalo, other than I got some fans, some mates from Toronto and other places. Grant Painter, the legend stampeder, is a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Gabe, as we talk. Sean, well, now Kansas City. I don't have that many Kansas City Chiefs stories. Well, the couple of the cheerleaders were fantastic at Pro Bowl. I remember one of them saying to me in my show, "Yes, I'm red like a rose. You'll have to come and see me, won't you?" But I do have one crazy Kansas City Chiefs story. Seriously, when I was travelling, I'm travelling all over America, and I had to get out of Dallas because some crazy shit happened at the hotel I was staying. Not my fault. It was crazy. I've told that story before on one of the earlier podcasts. So I cleared out of Dallas, went straight to the airport. And at the airport, well, I'm flying standby all over the USA with this amazing ticket with Delta Airlines, so I could fly anywhere in the US. This is back in 1990, 91, just before I ended up at the ski resort in Colorado. So I'm in Dallas, and I thought I'll fly to New Orleans. Well, I'm at the airport, and there's this big conference for all these doctors in New Orleans. So I couldn't get on a flight to New Orleans. So I'm sitting at the airport. And back in the day, you could do this, right? You could just talk to chicks at the airport. Well, you can't do that now. Well, you still can. Well, you definitely can't because of COVID. But people on their phones all the time, right? So back then, it was awesome. You could go to the airport and maybe chat up, right? So I'm sitting there at the airport and there's this young girl next to me. I was like 28, 29 at the time. And I just started talking to her, whatever. Well, she was a doctor. She was studying to be a doctor in like 3rd or 4th year of her university course. And she was going to New Orleans for this massive conference, like high tech, like gem cells or something like that, something crazy good. Well, she missed her flight, so she was on standby as well, you see. So then we started chatting and she didn't know what to do and I wasn't sure. I didn't go. I didn't care where I went, so we're getting on well. I said, here you go. Well, let's do this. We both fly to Baton Rouge. I'll rent a car because she was too young to rent a car, you see. So I said, I'll rent a car. She already had a hotel booked. She goes, sure. You rent a car and then you can stay at my place. I'm going, oh, okay. So we flew to Baton Rouge. I rented a car and then we drove to Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Did all the sights, went out at night, went down to Bourbon Street, and I spent 2 or 3 nights in a hotel and dropped her back at the airport. I drove back to Baton Rouge, and I said, hang on, you got a boyfriend? She goes, yeah, but he's not keen on going all the way. I'm going, all right, okay, so there you go. There's a funny little story of a nice young lady, nice young 24-year-old, 23, 24-ish, studying for medical, her doctor's degree from Kansas City. That's a couple of Kansas City stories. Also met a couple of players at Pro Bowl as well from Kansas City. I think it was the kicker or the punter. And, of course, the great tight end. Yes, Kansas City. Kansas City. I'm a Broncos fan. And it's hard to go back-to-back Super Bowl. So let's hope the Bills win. Either way, it's going to be 2 great games. Be very careful betting. Here's another betting terminology. So don't have too many bad beats. That's what Cardano says to Gabriel Morency. How was your bad beats? It's getting beat bad in betting and losing a lot of money. So be very careful how much you bet this weekend because both games could go either way. I'll stick with the Bucks at +4 early in the week. I'm glad I got on that. It's +3 now. Be careful. I got some multis, a couple of multis going. What do we got here? Here we go. We got the Bills and Bucks on the Moneyline Multi, so both underdogs at +537. Oh, Bills and Bucks on the spread +300. I'll add some other bets as well. Maybe play a couple of props. Enjoy the games. Be careful betting. And look forward to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Check out my podcast. Check out MickAussie.tv. Lots of sports comedy, all sorts of craziness. Hope you can watch my movie. Just message me and I'll send you the password to watch my sports comedy craziness. A lot of it at the NFL and the CFL. Have a great NFL weekend